There's a moment I'll never forget. I was standing in the middle of my living room, surrounded by furniture I didn't love, decorations I'd accumulated without thinking, and this overwhelming sense that my home was working against me instead of for me. Have you ever felt that? Like your own space is draining your energy rather than restoring it? Then I discovered something that changed everything. Not a new organizing system or another storage solution, but 6 ancient Japanese principles that completely transformed how I think about home. And here's what surprised me most. These ideas aren't about buying anything new, they're about understanding what home is actually supposed to feel like. Let me ask you something. When you walk into your bedroom at the end of a long day, does it feel like a sanctuary or a storage unit? For most of us, it's somewhere uncomfortably close to the second option. This is where Kanso comes in, the Japanese principle of simplicity. Kanso isn't about empty rooms, it's about understanding that the space between your belongings matters just as much as the belongings themselves. Traditional Japanese aesthetics reduce visual noise by roughly 70% compared to typical Western design approaches. 70%, think about what that means for your nervous system, for your ability to actually relax in your own home. Kakuzo Okakura wrote in the Book of Tea back in 1906 that simplicity is the essence of Japanese beauty. Not minimalism for its own sake, but intentional restraint that allows what remains to truly breathe. Picture this scenario. You come home after a stressful day. You set down your keys on a clear entryway table with just a small plant and a ceramic dish. Compare that to fumbling through piles of mail, random chargers, and forgotten sunglasses just to find a spot for your things. Which version of you is more likely to feel calm? What's one surface in your home that could use this kind of intentional simplicity? Now, here's something that might surprise you. Perfect symmetry actually creates tension in a space. I know that sounds backwards. We're taught that matching nightstands and perfectly centered artwork equals good design, but Japanese philosophy sees it differently. Fukinsei is the appreciation of asymmetry and irregularity. It's the understanding that nature never creates perfect mirrors, and neither should our homes. Think about the most peaceful natural setting you've ever experienced. Maybe a forest path, a rocky coastline, or a mountain meadow. Nothing was symmetrical. Trees grew at different heights, rocks scattered in organic patterns, and yet it felt completely right. Leonard Cohen explores this beautifully in Wabi Sabi for artists, designers, poets, and philosophers, explaining how asymmetry reflects life's impermanence and creates spaces that feel alive rather than staged. In traditional Japanese homes, asymmetrical layouts actually foster natural movement through a space. Your eye travels, your body follows, and the room feels dynamic rather than static. Try this mental exercise. Look at your living room right now. Is everything centered, matched, and rigid? What if you grouped 3 candles of different heights instead of 2 identical ones? What if that artwork hung slightly off-center, balanced by a plant on the opposite side? The room starts breathing differently. Have you ever noticed how a single wooden bowl can make an entire room feel warmer? That's Shizen, the principle of incorporating natural materials to connect your indoor space with the natural world. Japanese homes traditionally use wood, bamboo, rice paper, and stone, not as decoration, but as the very structure of living. Tatami mats woven from rice straw, shoji screens made from translucent paper. Here's a remarkable fact. Approximately 80% of traditional Japanese construction avoids nails entirely, using interlocking joinery instead. The materials work together organically, just as they did in nature. Research on biophilic design, which is just a fancy term for bringing nature indoors, shows that natural interiors can improve our sense of well-being by around 15%. We're literally wired to feel better, surrounded by organic materials. But you don't need to rebuild your house. Start noticing what you're surrounded by. Is it mostly plastic, synthetic fabrics, and manufactured surfaces? Even small shifts make a difference. Linen curtains instead of polyester. Here's where things get interesting. WAR is the principle of harmony, but not the kind you might expect. It's not about everything matching, it's about everything belonging. There's a Japanese concept called mono no kokoro, the idea that every object has its own spirit or heart. When you choose items for your home with this mindset, each piece has purpose. Nothing exists just because it was on sale or because someone gave it to you and you felt guilty throwing it away. Wa no Chikara. The power of harmony ensures your home feels like what Japanese designers call a single coherent expression of yourself. Not a showroom, not a Pinterest board, but genuinely yours. Shinmai Masuno, a Zen Buddhist priest and garden designer, writes in The Art of Simple Living about how intentional placement of objects actually reduces anxiety. When everything belongs, nothing jars you, you move through your space without unconscious friction. Consider how traditional Japanese homes use shoji screens to balance privacy and openness simultaneously. Light diffuses softly through paper panels, creating connection between rooms while maintaining separation. This principle might be the most counterintuitive of all. We tend to see empty space as wasted space, something to fill. Japanese philosophy sees it as kuchu no nagare, flowing emptiness that provides breathing room for spontaneity and spirit. In traditional Japanese design, voids are active elements. They're not the absence of something, they're the presence of possibility. Think about urban apartments in Japan. Space is precious, yet traditional practices maximize it beautifully. Futons fold away each morning, reclaiming roughly 50% of floor space. Rooms transform from bedroom to living area to workspace. The emptiness isn't a sacrifice, it's freedom. Strategic negative space actually emphasizes the items you do choose to display. When everything competes for attention, nothing wins. When you create breathing room, your curated pieces become meaningful. Here's a challenge that might feel uncomfortable. Choose one shelf, one corner, one surface in your home, and leave it intentionally empty, not temporarily empty while you figure out what goes there. Permanently empty, watch how it changes the energy of that space. The final principle ties everything together. Seijaku is tranquility, but not the passive kind. Japanese philosophy describes it as energized relaxation, like the stillness of a Zen garden, where every raked line holds intention. This is about creating calm amid the chaos of modern life. Traditional Japanese interiors favor neutral palettes. Wood tones, soft grays, muted earth colors. Not because bright colors are wrong, but because neutral foundations allow your nervous system to settle. Shunryu Suzuki wrote in Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, about achieving tranquility through mindful space. The environment shapes the mind, and the mind shapes the experience. Lifestyle studies consistently show that homes adapting these principles report higher serenity scores. People sleep better, stress decreases, the space itself becomes a form of daily meditation. Here's what I want you to take away from all of this. You don't need to transform your entire home overnight. You don't need to adopt all 6 principles at once. Japanese philosophy is patient. It understands that lasting change happens gradually. Which of these 6 principles spoke to you most? I'd genuinely love to know. Drop it in the comments below. Your answer might help someone else discover exactly what they needed to hear. Your home is waiting to become your sanctuary. These ancient principles have guided that transformation for centuries. Now they're yours.